Hello friends, welcome to CCR TV and in particular to the Golden Brigade, a program where we interview golden couples that have completed 50 years of their marriage and maybe more. It's a blessing and it's our privilege to have with us a couple that has not only completed 50 years, but they are completing their 58th wedding anniversary. In today's world, where marriages come and go, you never know how long marriages will last. And to have a couple that has completed 50 years and more, that's a real blessing indeed. And for you and me, it's a testimony that marriages work, because there are so many who don't believe in marriage anymore. So friends, welcome to a golden couple that has made it, as I said earlier, not just 50, but 58 years. Welcome, we have Fatima Soares and Natividade Soares. I will be calling him Nati and Fatima, okay? So it's nice to be here with both of you.
Nice to have
you. Made it. You made it down these years because you kept each other as your exclusive soulmates. And praise God that this will continue for years ahead. As part of our conversation, we are curious. We want to know when you got married, where you got married. Could you tell us that?
Yes, we got married in Aldana in the year 25 April 1965. Now at that time, there were no clubs, there were no institutions where marriages, reception could take place. We had everything in our own house. The wedding was solemnized in Aldana in St. Thomas Church, and my uncle, he celebrated our nuptial march.
And I'm sure you have heard this, that marriages are made in heaven, right?
Right, yes.
But their agents are very, very present on earth. So I guess yours was an arranged marriage.
It was very much an arranged marriage, so much so both the mothers got down to arranging it without my knowledge. At least I didn't know anything. But in fact, my mother, when I grew up, when I was big enough, she took a snap. She took me to the studio and got a snap.
Okay.
And I was quite curious to know why she was taking a snap. So she said, no, Bhai, now you're grown big, so it's nice to have the snap of each one of you all. But I did not understand it. Then I wanted to know why she was not taking the snap of the others as well. But in time to come, that snap disappeared from my album.
Oh, is that so?
So finally, when I got married, I found the snap in my husband's album.
So that
is how I came to know the two mothers must have agreed that they wanted the snap.
The album was kept reserved for this snap.
Okay.
That's why it came to my album.
And when you saw the snap, you must have said, wow.
But in my younger days, I knew her. That's why the snap was as if I was called to settle down with this girl.
Okay.
That's why I accepted the proposal. And when I came down on holiday, immediately everything started working fast, so that within 4 months, I had a leave of 4 months.
Okay.
I had to go back in May. And I said, now if I get married now in January or April, then our Holy Week season was there. Then we fixed it for April. Soon after April, there was no honeymoon for us. I immediately had to rush to Vasco, to the shipping companies, to find out whether the ticket or anything has happened for my wife.
Okay.
And I had to get in contact with the office in Nairobi to send the visa for my wife because the seats were booked on the ship. But no ticket had come. Because every day I used to go, see whatever is done there, come back. By the time it was afternoon, lunchtime. Like that I struggled so much because all this struggle is due because I wanted to take my wife to
Africa.
In other words, even though you didn't have a honeymoon here, you
This was
wanted
the
to have
honeymoon.
your honey with you in Africa.
Right, yes.
It so happened that when it came, there were a lot of regulations. I had to take a probation or a stamp from Reserve Bank of India. That the company arranged me to go to Bank of India in Vasco and get that endorsement. There were a lot of other formalities. We landed on the ship knowing that we are sailing to the land we wanted.
Together. Let me remind you of something that we know in physics or practical terms. The North Pole attracts the South Pole, and the South Pole attracts the North Pole. Now, was there anything specific that attracted you to each other?
No. Attractive me, since I knew her from young, I thought that was, and suggested by my mother, and her mother was also agreeing. I thought this was the best opportunity for me to say yes and take her as my wife.
Okay. And what about
For
you?
me, I didn't know him because I was very much younger. The difference between us is nearly 12 years.
Oh.
So I didn't know him much.
11 years only.
So, so then I had to accept, I had to obey my mother because she said, out of this, we are seven of us in the family, 7 children. So I'm the eldest. So I had to obey and say okay to my mother, although I was not very keen in getting settled, but well, in those times we have to, obedience
Yes.
was the ultimate.
So in
Yes.
other words, you were not able to look out for someone tall, dark, handsome, and all that sort of thing.
It never dawned on me about marriage.
Okay. And what about you? Did you look out for someone fair and
No,
beautiful?
Since I got this photograph, decision was made. When I came down, there were proposals, which my mother also proposed, but I did not pay much because I knew the arrangement which her mother did, and she being some relation, everything would work out for me. That's why I never bothered about any other proposal that came.
Okay.
We did get from Ukasai and other places, but I stuck to the choice I had made.
That is why we say, no, marriages are made in heaven.
Correct.
Lots of proposals may come. You may have had lots of girlfriends also.
Must have had.
What happened in Africa? You were in Goa, right? And you went to Africa for a job. So tell us about your job.
No. Soon after I completed my SSC, a neighbor of mine took me to Bombay and he worked out to put me in the railways. There I passed the test and I was employed in the Central Railways. The only thing there is that I had to do a lot of traveling because I was staying in Marine Lines, and to go to wherever this thing, I had to go by train, although the train was free. But that job I did it because I had no other option. But my whole intention was to go to Africa because my my friends, 2 or 3 friends, you may know the Camilo who is dead, close to your place there. His family was in Africa. Because I wanted to go to Africa, but not knowing they were from Uganda. Now I was selected to go to Kenya. That when I landed, I took the ship. I went on 22nd of July that year to Africa by a ship, and the sea was very rough. We could see the water coming into the ship, but although I was entitled for second class, at that short notice you cannot get these classes very easily, and we were put on the deck.
Oh.
We had to buy a wooden bed just to sleep at night, and in the morning we used to go and sit on the whoever has got a bed just to sit there, not to get wet when they were washing the floor. A lot of difficulties I had, but in the long run I was happy because I never felt sick on the ship. Although some of my friends started vomiting, but I did not fall sick at all.
And
although I had during my lunchtime, night time, green chilies I used to buy because not to feel vomiting.
Is that a solution? Green chilies? I'm hearing of it for the first
I
time.
don't know.
What about you? Did you have any seasickness?
No, I didn't have also.
Okay,
because
because-
when we were little, we were also in Africa.
Is that so?
But not in Nairobi, of course.
Okay.
My parents were there, but we too sailed and came down.
Okay.
But we had no difficulty, no. We enjoyed the ship.
You spoke of going to Africa, and what was the job you were holding there?
No, I went as a clerk, but later on during the years, I managed to do a lot of banking courses that were going on, and I was made in charge of a section where the pronotes and all are discounted, they are credited to the account, and at that time, there were a lot of temptation because customers used to come and tell, you don't charge the complete interest, just make few days so that we will pay you something. But in my case, I said, nothing doing, I will not do that. As long as whatever the pronote says, the number of days interest to be calculated, I used to complete and just get the money back.
That's wonderful because today it's so easy to lose track and give in to temptation, as you
In
said.
which bank were you working?
Greenland Bank.
Okay. Right.
I was sent by a bank in Bombay to the Greenland Bank in Africa. Greenland Bank also changed to so many other banks, so many other names, and finally we landed in Australia, New Zealand Bank in.
And did you get involved in the bank?
Not at all. Not at all.
So what job were you?
I was a total housewife.
Okay.
My husband never allowed me to work because the children were born and their work was much more than going out and working.
So
Housewife is an unpaid job,
Okay.
but I must say that the benefits are very much higher.
So it was
Today it's a
fulfilling.
pleasure for me to have my children and grandchildren.
Correct. It was fulfilling.
Very much.
Yeah. And you did not have a joint family because obviously if you're in Africa, his parents, your parents must have been in
Yes,
Goa.
they were in Goa, but
Okay.
after we returned from Africa, we lived with his parents in Algana.
And when
yes.
did you return from Africa?
In 1972,
Okay.
when all my 3 children were born in Africa,
Okay.
and we came home. The little one was quite small, but they enjoyed themselves being with the grandparents over there. A very big house too. So it was only when difficulties arose, when the children were growing, we felt that the house was too big, and we had to think of something better.
Okay.
That's how we reached Podvari. We bought a little smaller place, and we are here in Podvari while the big house is donated to Caritas.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you spoke of children. How many children? You said 3.
God blessed us with 3 children,
Okay.
2
And
girls and a boy.
okay.
But he called back one daughter
Okay.
whom we lost at the age of 10.
And you took it in your stride. It must have been difficult.
It was very difficult to accept what she went through. But I must say, when she used to go to school, here at the Holy Family School, She was a child who used to be very fond of the aged priests.
Really?
You know, we had the clergy home here.
Okay.
So she had to cross to go to school through the clergy homes, that road.
Okay.
And apart from that, she used to go every Sunday for instructions for communion, first communion. At that time, we only had a chapel. So Father here at the clergy home used to give instructions to the children for their first communion.
Okay.
So she used to go there and help them, help those priests. Very fond of being with the old ones.
She must have been blessed.
Very much, so much so the director of home, that's Father Montero, Sheikh Montero.
Yes.
He would say to me many times, esta criança não é do mundo. I mean to say that this child is not of the world.
Oh.
He used to say that to me.
So it was a prediction.
So when she passed away, Father Sheikh came here with a picture of Our Lady, and he knelt at my feet.
Okay.
We were so many of us sitting at the table. And I felt so much that Father Sheikh comes and kneels at my feet to say, this is the Our Lady who has taken her.
Yes. Yeah.
So today I feel we are really blessed. It's all because of her.
Yeah, because you have an angel
We have an advocate up there
Yes.
who really,
Yeah.
yes, she intercedes for us.
What about your other children?
The other children, the girl is now married, and the boy too is married. The girl is in Canada, and the boy is in Malaysia.
Okay.
Yes, they have their own children now. They have a pair each.
Okay.
A girl and a boy, and a girl and a boy.
And they must be keeping in touch with you on
Very much, very much.
mobiles
Yes.
or even the phone.
Today, the phones and the privilege of seeing them on videos is a big blessing.
Okay.
We can only get the girl from Canada once a week, that's on Sundays,
Okay.
when it is their Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
While the boy, of course, as and when they feel, when they have the time for it, yes,
Okay.
we talk to them, the kids, little ones especially.
So then, what were your hobbies? What are your hobbies now? Do you have any?
My hobby is totally stitching and cooking.
Oh.
So my husband gets the best of food.
And what is your favorite dish, Nati? What is your favorite dish that Fatima cooks?
No.
Favorite dish?
When you have so many dishes, no, it is difficult to choose which one is favorite. Most of the dishes are all favorite.
So she's an excellent cook. In other words, that's what you're saying.
She is excellent cook now, but when she went to Africa, she did not know much of the cooking.
Okay.
But because of her talent and her interest in showing to take care of me and the aged parents, she started cooking on her own, picking up recipes from here and there, and at the moment I don't have to worry.
So you're self-taught. You are absolutely
Very
self-taught.
much, very much, yes, yes.
Because
my mother was a good cook as well.
True, but she was not there at the beginning stages for you
Yeah.
to, when you got married.
When I got married, no. But before I got married, I had to be with her to help her out.
Okay.
Being the eldest in the family,
That's
having
true,
this
that's true.
younger siblings.
Okay.
Yes, I had to help her. So I learned a little bit, not much. But when I went to Africa, Mommy would send me lots of recipes. Yes. I make different types of puddings. I make a bibinka also. My husband is very fond of bibinkas,
Is it?
but he has to eat less due to his sugar levels. So, yeah, I make quite a few sweet dishes.
I'm speaking from experience. There are some who are good only in the cooking of, daily shit kodi as we call them. But when it comes to savories and sweets,
Talking about savories and sweets, I think the Goans always have you have the main dish, or you have the main food, and then end it up with a dessert.
that's
The word dessert is the main also, I could say. Everybody wants to know what desserts you have at the end of the meal. So
it makes my
It
mouth
makes-
water because of late, instead of going to the buffet, I go straight to the table where there are
see whether the
desserts. Yes.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. You had definitely your silver jubilee and your Golden Jubilee. Tell us about your Silver Jubilee. Where was it? When?
We had our Silver Jubilee in the Holy Family Chapel. At that time, it was a chapel. It was in 1990, 25th of April, that we had our Silver Jubilee. It was celebrated in the chapel by Father Arman, when Father Kota was the chaplain at that time. And the Golden Jubilee was held in the year 2015, 25th of April. And at that time, Father Anand was the first parish priest, because our chapel was elevated into a church. So we were very happy to have, at that time the children were grown, they were married, so they wanted to have the celebration their way. And it was a very elaborate celebration we had. The Silver Jubilee, of course, the children were much younger, they were in school. So we had it at my brother-in-law's residence. He wanted to have the housewarming of his residence. So we clubbed it with the reception of our Silver Jubilee as well.
Wonderful.
Yes. So
and where was this?
In Purvadi,
Okay.
the housing home.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, just to switch gears, at your wedding, I'm 100% sure the priest must have said, keep Jesus as the center of your family.
Yes.
Okay. Today, what is the place that Jesus has in your life?
From the very beginning, we always said prayers together. We always prayed together. This was the family tradition, you would say. Both in his family and my family, we always had prayers. The rosary. The rosary. Besides that, our morning prayers and night prayers also, we would say together.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Because men don't have time to pray with the wife. At least I'm talking from the experience of certain men that I know.
Yes. We say our prayers together, and then if he wants to have another prayer, he goes and he sits quiet in his place and he says, and I say, and sit in my place and I say it. Even when the children were small, we used to say the rosary together and say our morning and night prayers along with them till they reached college.
Good.
Every morning.
And going further, when I was alone in Dubai, I never missed my morning rosary any single day. I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, say my rosary, then have a bath and do my breakfast, because by 8 o'clock I had to be in the bank. Because the bank safe keys and all the keys were with me.
So in other words, you kept your spiritual life
Yeah.
alive.
Yes.
I think now, that rosary during those 4.5 years has helped me now to enjoy good health.
Praise God. And at present, are you involved in the church or any activities connected with the church?
Right now, we are retired from all these activities, but we were very much involved always in the church in different fields. Yes. Natty was the treasurer in 2 terms of the church. Yes. And whatever other activities the church would have, we would get ourselves involved as well. And I used to
in other words, you didn't neglect the church.
Not at all. We were always active in the church.
Because just yesterday I heard a priest saying, after confirmation, our children are lost. They don't come back to the church. And couples also, once they are senior citizens, they don't much care to involve themselves. But it's good to know that you were.
The chapel here had no residence. And Father Arman was staying in somebody's private house. So he got all the formalities done, and he had started working on building that residence, where my children got quite involved in helping out, also in doing work there, even to the extent of lifting stones and helping. Oh yes.
To that extent?
Yes. They were doing it, and along with them many other children, of course. Yes.
Talking about church activities, I was a Eucharistic minister. Originally, I was supposed to be for about 6 months or 1 year. And I remained as a Eucharistic minister for 9 years.
Oh my goodness.
Because there was nobody else coming forward to do this work. Myself and another friend of mine, we did our course in Old Goa.
Right.
We used to go on Saturday evening and return back Sunday evening. We used to spend the night there, hear mass, everything. And now it has become so easy. In each village, they are having these courses.
But it's wonderful to know that you persevered for 9 years because it's not easy.
The priest wanted.
Yes.
So,
Besides that, I used to help the priest to take Holy Communion to all the aged. I used to drive him in my own car. When Father Thomas was there, he was very, very friendly with me. And whenever I went with him, I used to take my own coffee.
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish I was that priest.
We had to sit under the tree and share the coffee. I like,
Coffee is unkind. Anyway, on a somber note, there was death that you experienced of your daughter.
Yes.
Now, you are 90, you are touching 80, and God has blessed you with a long life. Okay, how prepared are you to face the challenge of either one of you not being there? Because this is the reality of life. Right. I lost my wife when I was barely 34, and I was not prepared at all. So my purpose in asking this is because many couples are not even confronting the situation that one day things will be empty. Your partner in your bed is no longer there. So how are you preparing yourselves?
I think we have thought, we haven't thought much of it, but yes, it does come to our mind very often. For me, I had to undergo 2 surgeries, major surgeries. One was the angioplasty, and the next one was the open heart surgery. When I went for my angioplasty, I had a lot of time to prepare to go for the surgery. So that time I prepared myself well by keeping little notes all over the place, what they should do, how they should do. And I went to Father, prepared myself spiritually as well, where Father gave me confession, communion, and even the sacrament. The extreme unction, what you'd call, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I went well prepared, and I even told Natty, I said, you don't have to worry, because at that time, both the children were coming down for a wedding that we were having at home. So I said, both of them will be there, so you don't have to worry. But God brought me back, and then I took out all the notes and threw them out.
But it's good to know that you had that awareness and you kept him prepared.
So the second surgery, of course, it was very sudden. I was unprepared. So when I went to Belgaum, the doctor told me, if you go back to Goa, you will not return back. So I had to do my open heart surgery. At that time, I said, oh God, I have not prepared myself even spiritually. But God was good. He sent a priest to me there in Belgaum, where I had all my sacraments. And I told Natty, I said, this time your wife is coming back. I am a Khorop, I said, I'm coming back.
That's good to know.
So now we are here.
Soon after surgery, when doctor says you all can go home, that night we were not prepared to leave, because they said at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. We waited for that night, and in the morning we traveled from Belgaum. Along with us, another small boy who was operated. We came by car.
Okay, all the way.
All the way from Belgaum. But the driver was very good. He drove slowly. And when we came here, everybody was waiting for us to receive. It is God's blessing to make the trip successful, because anything could have gone wrong on the way and we had nowhere to go.
True.
So that was the only way to travel from Belgaum to Goa.
Yes.
There's no other way out.
We'd love to talk more and more on this, but
There's no time.
maybe
But the time is not enough.
yes. So I'd just like to find out, what message do you have maybe for those who are contemplating marriage?
Now, first of all, the one who is trying to get married must first think that the sacrament is made by God. And to live the sacrament, one has to love each other, support each other, and above all, they must have the gift of forgiveness. In our life, we had ups and downs, but we always forgive and we respected each one. So that the forgiveness and your love for each other and commitment to the sacrament is very essential nowadays if you want your marriage to succeed.
That's a wonderful message.
Now we have completed 58 years. Just this morning our neighbor was saying, Nati, आणि 2 वर्षां उरल्यानवर I said 2 वर्षांनी आम्ही first class रोया 60 वाजता.
And please call me. Anyway,
That's in God's wish.
in God's plan
Yes,
also.
God's plan.
So as I said, I would love to keep on chatting, but
Yes.
I want to have a simple message for you and for others, in the sense that we all dream of a brave new world, okay? A world of social progress, a world of human contentment. And some people think not possible, but you have proved that it is possible. You definitely together made happy, an environment of happiness for yourselves, for your children. And my prayer is that you will keep this happiness going, because
Yes.
ultimately, as you yourselves have said, God is the provider.
Exactly.
He has blessed you in big ways, small ways. And never forget that He will carry you through, hopefully till the 60th, and we'll call it the platinum or the diamond jubilee, and thereafter. Okay?
Even
So-
if we don't succeed to be 60, we only pray that God takes us smoothly through the years that He wishes for us.
Yeah, and that's my
Without
prayer.
having
That's
any-
my prayer.
Yes.
And as we end, I want to say thank you for allowing us into your home and for allowing us to converse with you on your experiences. You could write a book. I'm
Oh, yes.
sure,
We
but-
can write lots of
yes,
things,
yes,
but it's not
time
possible.
constraints.
We also want to thank all those who participated in this program,
Yeah.
so that God blesses them
Yeah.
and they keep up their spirit to go to eat in every family and spread the good news.
It's nice to know that they come along with you. They know the secrets of each person, especially when they come and interview people, so that their marriages also remain successful.
Yes, yeah. So thank you once again, and on behalf of CCR TV, long life,
Thank you.
happiness,
Thank you. God
and
bless
peace.
everyone.
God bless
God
you.
bless.
All
God
the
bless
best to you.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Yes.
God bless.